Oh man, another day, another exposure for everyone on the internet to have a look and have a laugh. And not only IGN, but Chris Dring. And honestly, I don't even know if this is actually a Chris Dring issue anymore. I think this might solely be an IGN issue. Because as you know, GameIndustry.biz is now solely and fully owned by IGN. But if we're looking at what Christopher Dring posted here, he said Astrobot was the #1 wishlisted game according to IGN during not E3 SGF period of game announcements, coming out just a week ahead of Doom, Gears of War, and Perfect Dark. Now, the fact that Call of Duty is #9 clearly tells you that this list is nothing but clickbait garbage. But if you don't believe me, I'm gonna prove it. And when I do, you can hit that like button, subscribe, hit that bell to stay up to date with all content I release, because I'm on a roll of just exposing frauds this week. And well, as you can see here from Alex, he pretty much confirms what I said. The takeaway from this should be that IGN playlist isn't a reliable source of metrics or data, as it's used as an app to clear gaming backlogs. GI Biz is wholly owned by IGN. Even if you disregard this part here, which you probably should, this part here is the clear takeaway. GI Biz, Game Industry Biz, is wholly owned by IGN. You literally created this article for bait clicks. And he is saying that Astrobot was first on the list. Now, I came over here and I saw this yesterday, and it says the most wishlisted games by the IGN community this week, 1 to 5, are all from the Xbox Games Showcase. Doom, The Dark Ages, Gears of War E-Day, Perfect Dark Next Gen, Claire Obscure Expedition 33, Fable. These are all Xbox Showcase games. As you can see from all of this, great stuff, right? So I decided to go over to the IGN News because we already had that Flare post from Fan Census, which clearly showed that the most popular game by a margin was Call of Duty. Like, by a long shot. It completely obliterated everything else that was shown on the day. And then we come over here, and we've got Playing this week, we've got Backlog this week, and then we have Wishlisted. And lo and behold, we have Doom, Gears, Perfect Dark, Clear Obscure Expedition, Fable. Where was Christopher Dring getting his information from, I wonder? Because clearly it's not from here. Or was it fabricated? I mean, it could have been fabricated. It's not like the first time Christopher Dring hasn't fabricated information. I mean, we all remember that post about him saying...
It's interesting. I was watching Michael Pactor's podcast and he was talking about how it's all about Game Pass for Xbox. Yeah, I actually was hearing that the Game Pass, that Microsoft's putting a little bit less focus on Game Pass. So,
I spoke to studios and, big studios who are wondering, should I release my games there? And I even heard from inside Microsoft that Game Pass isn't yet a focus, right? That's what he said. Xbox Game Pass, Xbox Game Pass, Xbox Game Pass, Xbox Game Pass, Xbox Game Pass. Right? Right? But it's not a focus, folks. It's not a focus. It is not a focus, right? That is what they're trying to tell us. Well, he is trying to tell us. Do you remember when Microsoft started porting games over to PlayStation? It was seen as the end of an era. Nothing could continue down this path. Microsoft, were throwing in the towel. They were basically, it was unthinkable, right? But here we go. You notice something different. This is when Microsoft did it. Xbox in real trouble, as the majority of games will likely come to PlayStation. And now when Sony does it, the tune changes quite drastically, right? Why the gradual death of the console exclusive makes business sense. I mean, the complete two-facedness of these media pundits. And I get it. IGN, I mean, they proudly showed off that they were sponsored by PlayStation 5. So they had to put Astrobot at the top, right? They had to. They got that Sony money. I mean, they've already got someone spearheading it that pretty much is a Sony person through and through, but they had to put an Astrobot game, the only game that they actually had, at the top of the wish list because Sony were paying the money. Sony pretty much money hatted that decision. There's no way in anyone's right mind that anyone is going to think that Call of Duty would not be number one in that list. Even if Doom and Gears and the others wasn't, Call of Duty would 100% be number one in that list. There's just no two ways about it. It already skyrocketed to the pre-order list on Steam and everywhere else. And you're telling me that it's not going to hit that? It's not. And this dude is coming out with articles like this? Really? And you think that anyone is going to take this, seriously? There's just no way. So here we have Gareth saying, are you saying Xbox One? I mean, clearly everyone knows Xbox One. Well, I like to think that was obvious. Different approaches, mind. Sony focused on its schedule for the next 6 to 9 months. Xbox went longer, but then is the console war a thing anymore? If it wasn't a thing anymore, you wouldn't be lying about the top wishlisted game, which has already been disproven just by going to the website that owns you. That's all I'm saying. The website that owns you is telling you that you were lying. Literally lying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, right? That's all I'm saying. But, right, because this week isn't even up yet, so this would be like from the Sunday showcase. So clearly, this is a whole load of bollocks that he's coming. So clearly, this, I don't know where he got this from. It doesn't even look official. Was just fabricated to appease their Sony overlords. But it does get worse, right, chat? It does get worse. Because as we found out from King David here on the ADS podcast, mentioned to Sarah Bond on why this game was delayed on Xbox. Her answer, it wasn't the Series S, it was a business decision. It was money hatted. The devs wanted more money from Xbox to launch same day as other platforms, and Microsoft said, no, we're not going to be held to ransom. And honestly, screw the developers. If you're going to try and extort more money just to release it on another platform, screw you. I've now lost all interest in this game, and I won't be playing it and I won't be buying it. I don't care if it's the best game in the world. If that is your attitude, then I've just got no interest. PlayStation, you can have it. And if it's good, it's good. If it's bad, well, oh well. And honestly, when publishers do this sort of thing, and this isn't the first time I'm hearing this, right? This is not the first time I'm hearing publishers do this. I don't care. Like even Callisto Protocol's publisher, they actually degraded the Xbox version for launch so PlayStation version could look better. I mean, the game came out poor anyway, as a bloody mess. But the PlayStation version was just better because they deliberately downgraded the visuals on the game. And lo and behold, the patch was available almost 2 days after. Like, it takes a lot longer than that to get something pushed through. I know, because I've worked in the bloody industry. You can't push a patch through in 2 days. That was submitted ages ago, but they've done it purposefully to make sure that it wouldn't be their day one for the reviews. So when developers do that, and well, not developers, but publishers decide on this sort of scummy tactics, I've got no interest in your game. Just none at all. It's on Game Pass now. Maybe I'll check it out because at the end of the day, I'm not paying for it. And I refuse to pay for it. And, the troubles that they went through, I'm okay with it because if you're going to go through scummy practices like that, you kind of deserve it. But in this situation here, it was a business decision. It was money hatted. The devs wanted more money. End of story. That's gone. But when it comes to Christopher Dring, good lord, does this guy shill for PlayStation like Nova? But then again, you know what? I can't really blame him. If you are owned by IGN, who is sponsored by PlayStation 5, and partially, I guess, indirectly owned by Sony, you don't really have a choice. This was one of the reasons why IGN went and bought all of these, to be able to control the narrative when it came to video games, because they knew that Xbox was about to have their best showcase ever, and they had nothing to combat that. So the best way that they could do it was by money-hatting websites to promote their one game, which in no way, shape, and form is going to be more popular than Doom or Gears or Call of Duty. Maybe it's more popular than Fable and Perfect Dark and Assassin's Creed. I mean, there's just no way that South of Midnight is going to be above Call of Duty. Assassin's Creed Shadows is going to be above Call of Duty. Call of Duty is just one of those games. I mean, I would say that in terms of popularity and desire, Call of Duty is in the same league as GTA. Those two games are just the mammoth giants of the gaming industry. And you're telling me it's going to be 9? Really? 9? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, folks. Yeah. 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 You let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have that discussion, and I'll see you in the next one. Another one exposed for their lying and scheming ways. Remain legend, folks. Peace out.